Hello viewers, I am Belal Ahmed Khan, science teacher. Today I will discuss a special topic, structure and function of neuron. So first of all, what is neuron? What does neuron mean? What do you understand by the term neuron? Neuron is the unit part of nervous system. The system that comprises control all the activities of external and internal maintenance activities of human body is nervous system. This nervous system is constituted with the help of the unit part is neuron. With the help of this neuron is a cell of nervous system or nerve tissue. What does neuron mean? What is called neuron? A special type of cell which form nervous tissue is neuron. So, nervous tissue is formed with the help of this neuron. Now, I am explain how many types of neuron are there, what are they. There are mainly three types of neuron are there. One of them is sensory neuron that control all the activities or transform different type of nerve activities and so on, receives stimuli from the environment and so on. This is the sensory neurons. And second one is motor neuron. Motor neuron transfer or transmit activities or collect activities from the brain or central nervous systems. And third one is mixed nerve that form with the help of combination of sensory and motor nerve. All the activities of sensory and motor nerve act as a mixed neuron. Sensory, motor and mixed neuron are located generally at the central nervous system or brain, and sensory neuron located all part of the human body. All part of the human body, and motor nerve also located all part of the human body. Sensory nerve is the outer part and motor nerve is the internal part of the human body. Now I will explain special or some common characteristics of a neuron or nerve cell. Common characteristic, there are huge common characteristics of neuron because all the activities of animal body are controlled with these cells. Common characteristics of a neuron. First of all, neuron cell body is polygonal. Neural cell body of neuron is polygonal or hexagonal or more than 1, 2, 3, 4 gonals. That is why general characteristics of or common characteristics of all type of neuron is their cell body generally polygonal shape or polygonal. Now the second characteristic is cell body is nucleated. Cell body of neuron cell or nerve cell contain nucleus. Nucleus control all the activities of neuron cell. So this nucleus located at the center of the cell body. That is why cell body is nucleated. That means nucleus contained in the cell body. All organelles present in this neuron cell. All organelles present in this neuron cell. All organelles means mitochondria, Golgi body, endoplasmic reticulum, ribosome, etc. I repeat, mitochondria, Golgi body, endoplasmic reticulum, ribosome, etc. with centriole. All organelles are present. There is no active centriole present, but this centriole is not active for cell division. Centriole helps in division of cell in animal body. For this reason, our body can divide with the help of these activities or the action of centriole. In the neuron cell, there is no active centriole. That is why neuron cell are limited or constant number because there is no cell division, there is no neuron divisions. A long fiber connected with the cell body is known as axon. So axon connected with the cell body, axon connected with the cell body, and this cell body or this elongated part transfer different type of information or impulses. Impulses means messages. It transfer different types of impulses from cell body to the next cell of neuron. A neuron has only one nucleus, has only one axon also. A neuron has only one axon. So with the help of these axons, they transfer impulses or messages cell body to the other part of the axon or other cells or other neuron. The junction between two neurons is synapse. Two neuron cells are connected with each other. This connective point is known as synapse. So junction between two neurons is synapse. So synapse act as a bridge between two neuron cells. Act as a bridge. They transfer exact information from one cell to another cell, from one cell to another cell. In this way, they transfer their activities or transfer their impulses or messages from one cell to another cell. Receive stimuli with the help of neuron, with the help of dendrite, with the help of outer part of the cell body. Receive stimuli with the 5 sensory organ. There are 5 sensory organs in human body: eyes, nose, skin, ear, tongue, etc. These 5 sensory organs control all the activities or receive all the stimuli from the environment, like visions, like hot, cold, etc., etc. With the help of these 5 sensory organs, we observe the whole world. With the help of these neuron. With the help of these 5 sensory organs, receive with sensory, that means sensory activities with the help of sensory neuron. Receive with sensory and transfer with the motor neuron. So receive with the sensory from the outer environment and transfer this information to other cell or other part of the body with the motor neuron, and it control or made a specific work with the help of mixed neuron. So mixed neuron act as a controller or made a decision with the help of this neuron. With the help of these 3 neuron cells, sensory, motor and mixed neuron, all the activities of animal body are controlled. Sensory neuron transfer messages to the brain, and brain made as mixed nerve, act as a mixed nerve and transfer the information or messages with the help of motor nerve, and motor effector organ act as a motor activities or implement all the motor activities or informations. In this way, or these are the activities or characteristics of a common characteristics of a neuron, of a special cell. So with the help of these special characteristics, you can communicate with the, or we can discuss with the, we can receive with the help of this neuron cell. So neuron cell act external and internal characteristics of an organism. Now I am trying to draw a structure. With the help of this structure, I will trying to explain the function of the neuron cell. The cell body of neuron cell is polygonal. more than one gunal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or more than 5, 6, 7, whatever. So that is why it is known as the polygonal cell body. The covering membrane of this cell body is known as cell membrane. So covering membrane of the cell body is cell membrane, and from this cell body, in the lower part of the cell body, a extended part or elongated part is connected with the cell body. This elongated part is generally known as axon. Axon connected with the cell body. In the lower portion is the terminal end. In motor nerve and sensory nerve are not same. At the end of the terminal end, implementary organs are associated or connected with this neuron cell. This is known as axon terminal or end of the terminal. And the circular part is a specific cell. The name of the cell is Schwann cell. This cell produces myelin sheath or covering membrane. All the cell contain a nucleus. This nucleus is Schwann cell nucleus of Schwann cell. This cell control the activities of or production of myelin sheath or covering membrane. And the cell body connected with some branches and branchlet that act as a receptor organ. They receive all the stimuli from the different environment, outer environment, external environment, etc., etc. With the help of this extended part, all the stimulus or stimulating activities occur with this, and at the center of the cell body is the nucleus. Nucleus control all the activities of this cell body, and the extended part receive all the stimulation or sensory activities of the cell. Now I am trying to level the different part of this neuron or nerve cell. Number 1, at the center of the cell body is located is nucleus. And number 2, the extended part that produced from the cell body is axon. Axon is the elongated part originated from the cell body. And third one is covering membrane that produced from the Schwann cell is known as myelin sheath. Myelin sheath is a covering membrane, act different activities or diffuses different heat or other activities done with the help of this myelin sheath. It's produced from the Schwann cell. And number 4, Schwann cell is produced. Number 4 is Schwann cell. This cell act as a special activities that produces myelin sheath or covering membrane. Number 4, and then number 5. Number 5 is axon terminal, is the lowermost part of the axon. Axon terminal is the lowermost part of the axon. This is known as axon terminal. It transfers nerve impulses from one axon to another cell body of a neuron cell. So it connected with the help of synapse terminal, axon terminal with the dendrite of another neuron cell. Number 6 represented node of Ranvier is the gap. Number 6 represented neurolemma is the covering membrane of axon or other parts. It covers or protects the neuron cell from external injury. The gap between the myelin sheath or Schwann cell is node of Ranvier. As a part node of Ranvier remove heat or extra pressure or extra heat with this part or extra ion with the help of diffusion process. Node of Ranvier act as a diffusion organ because different type of ionic substance diffuse with the help of this part or node of Ranvier. Now part 8 is known as axon hillock. All the branches of centriole or triploid. Centriole contain different type of triplets. These triplets or fibers are located in the axon hillock. Different types of fiber located at the axon hillocks. Now the main part of the axon is cell body. The covering membrane of cell body is cell membrane. 9 number part of the neuron is located cell membrane. It's protect internal part of the cell body or different organ and nucleus. And number 10, dendrite, outermost part of the cell body that receives all the sensory activities or receives all the information from the axon terminal of other cell is dendrite. So dendrite and axon terminal act to end part of a neuron cell. And the last part is 11 is cell body, is the total combining part with the axon hillock, cell membrane, other organelles, nucleus, dendrite are commonly known as cell body. So cell body control or contain different substance, nucleus, cell organelles, dendrites and cell membranes and so on. Now I am trying to write the functions of the neuron cell. The specific function or specific function of different part. First of all, nucleus. The function of nucleus is control the entire neuron cell or cell body. Entire neuron, all the activities of the neuron cell control with the help of this nucleus. So, this nucleus or the nucleus of neuron cell control all the activities of cell body or the neuron. Axon transfer signal to other cells of or organs. Cells and organs transfer signals, different types of signal transferred that made or that collected with the dendrite, transfer with the help of this axon. Transfer signals to other cells and other organs, different organs or organ cells, because it's act as a communicator or communicating part of the neuron. Elongated part of the neuron is axon. Axon control or transfer the signals. And then the third part is myelin sheath. Myelin sheath is an important part because it increases the speed of the signals. Signals passes with a definite speed, but myelin sheath can increase the speed of the neuron cell or increase the speed of this cell, increase the speed of the signals. Signal speed increases with the help of this part or myelin sheath. Now the function of myelin sheath is increase the speed of the signals or impulses or messages. Now Schwann cell is a special type of cell that produces myelin sheath. For this reason, Schwann cell produces different type of or myelin sheath that increase the speed or speed up the impulses. So the main function of Schwann cell is produces the myelin sheath of neuron. Schwann cell also contain a specific nucleus that control the Schwann cell individually, or individually they produces myelin sheath. And the number 5, the terminal end of a neuron cell is known as axon terminal. What is the main function of axon terminal? Form the junction between the junction with other cell. Axon terminal with the other dendrite of other neuron cell meet together form a junction or terminal end. So the main function of axon terminal is form junction with other neuron cell or nerve cell. Neurolemma. Neuro means neuron, lemma means membrane. It's a membrane, covering membrane. So covering membrane protects the axon and other parts of nerve cell or neuron cell. Neuro means nerve or neuron and lemma means membrane. So with the help of this membrane it protects internal part of the neuron cell. Now node of Frenbier is an important part, allow diffusion of ions. Different types of messages. During transferring messages, huge ion produces in the axon. Some of the ion are diffuses with the help of this node of Frenbier is a gap like a rail line. Node of Frenbier is a gap like rail line. Allow diffusion of ions. Now an axon hillock generate impulse in the neuron because it is the initiative part of the axon. That is why it generate impulse in the neuron. It generate impulse or messages. Impulse means messages of neuron. It generate impulse or messages in the neuron to transfer from cell body to other cell body, one neuron to another neuron. So axon hillock is the act as a main function as it generate impulse the neuron. Impulse means message. So axon hillock produces or initiate the messages or impulses. Now leveling number 9, cell membrane. All the membrane or all type of membrane main function is to protection. Protection is the main function of the membrane. So cell membrane protects internal part of the cell body. The membrane of cell body control or protected the internal part of cell body. Internal part of cell body such as protects nucleus, other organelles, cytoplasm, etc. etc. Now dendrite, terminal end of cell body. Dendrite receives signals from the other cells and the environment with the help of 5 sensory organ, or from the other cells. This dendrite receives the stimuli or messages. So receives signals represented as impulse or messages. Dendrite receives impulses or messages from other cells or from the environment. If it is the sensory cell, that it receives impulses from the environment with the help of 5 sensory organs. So the main function of dendrite is receive signals from other cells and the environment. Now the leveling number 11, cell body. The main function of cell body of neuron organize and keeps the cell functional. All the functions are active with the help of this cell body because it controlling agent like nucleus included or constituted or at the center of the cell body. That is why organize and keeps the cell functional. And it also contains mitochondria that produces energy, ribosome, lysosome, endoplasmic reticulum, centriole, etc. All the organelles are present inside this cell. So all the structure and function represented with these 11 leveling and their functions. Cell body, nucleus, axon, myelin sheath, Schwann cell, axon terminal, neurolemma, node of Ranvier, axon hillock, cell membrane, and dendrite and cell body are the 11 parts that control all the activities of human body, physiological, internal and external communication held with the help of this cell. Now I am trying to explain two different type of neuron cell. One of them is sensory neuron cell, another one is motor neuron cell or motor nerve. There are two types of nerves are there, one of them sensory and another one is motor. I am trying to draw two diagrams that compare sensory structure and the motor structure. How sensory structure act and how motor structure act. Sensory structure and motor structure are not same. They are different from each other. Because motor nerve contain the polygonal or hexagonal cell body. But there is no like that type of cell body in the sensory cell. The first cell I am trying to draw is motor sensory nerve. The structure of motor sensory nerve different because of their structure and because of their activities or functions. Now the structure of sensory. First part is the cell body and the elongated part is axon. Axon branch and produces axon terminal. Axon terminal, with the help of this axon terminal, they communicate with the other sensory cell or motor cell. So, with the help of this terminal end, they communicate with the other dendrites. First cell is motor cell. This covering membrane is myelin sheath that produces from the Schwann cell, and myelin sheath protects or increase the speed of the impulses. The outer extended part is dendrite. It receives stimuli or stimulus from other cell or other axons and transfer with the help of dendron that connected with the cell body, and cell body contain a nucleus at the top of the part. This is the motor neuron. An elongated part that produces from the cell body to the other extent is the axon. Now I am trying to draw a sensory neuron or a sensory nerve. The cell body of sensory nerve located at the center, and it controls all the activities of the cell from the center. This elongated part that located in between the two part of the cell body is the axon, and the branch of axon, with the help of this branch, they receive stimuli. When we touch any other part of our body, we can receive stimuli with this terminal end. With this terminal, we receive this touch, heat, cold, we can see everything with this help of this terminal end. They receive all the activities of external environment with the sensory nerves, with the terminal end. They receives all the activities and transfer to the other cell as sensory afferent, afferent. This cell generally represented as sensory receptor, and try to transfer with the help of sensory transfer. So this cell also contain myelin sheath that produces from the Schwann cell and axon, terminal end, cell body, nucleus, and also nucleus contain nucleus and other organelles. So the second cell is sensory neuron cell or sensory cell or sensory nerve. You know that three types of nerve: motor, sensory, and another one is mixed. That combination of sensory and motor that produces combination of motor and sensory. So sensory act as a receptor, connect with the outer environment with our body that receives different types of stimuli with the help of 5 sensory organs. So sensory organs are eye, nose, ear, skin, tongue, etc. These 5 sensory organs, with the help of these 5 sensory organs, this sensory neuron receives all the stimuli, all the signals, all the impulses. So with the help of motor neuron, transfer impulse or receive impulse from CNS. What does CNS mean? Central nervous system. Central nervous system. You know very well that brain can be divided into 2 parts. One of them is CNS, central nervous system. Another one is peripheral nervous system. So central nervous system is known as the main part of the nervous system. Central nervous system can be divided into 2 parts, such as brain and spinal cord. So central nervous system constituted with the help of brain and spinal cord. And sensory neuron impulse transfer from one part to another part, impulse to CNS. So receives impulse and transfer to CNS, central nervous system. In this way, sensory neuron receive impulses and transfer to the brain or spinal cord. Central nervous system are constituted with the help of 2 parts. One of them is brain, another one is spinal cord, that's situated internal part of our backbone, and brain located in the internal part of skull or brain cavity named cranium. Inside the cranium, this brain located. So these 2 parts, brain and spinal cord, are produces central nervous system, are constituted central nervous system. Now I am trying to level as basic part, cell body, and inside the cell body contain a nucleus, axon, myelin sheath cover the part, and synaptic button. With the help of this button, they connect with the synapse, they connect with the other dendrite of another neuron cell. They connect with the dendrite of other neuron cell. In this way, they complete their activities. And the sensory neuron in the cell body, node of Ranvier is the another part, act like a rail line. The gap like a rail line. With the help of this gap, node of Ranvier, the release or the diffuses different ions. These are the part of motor neuron, basic part of motor neuron. There are different parts such as dendrite, axon, hillock, etc., etc. Now, cell body of sensory neuron, nucleus, cell body, and inside the nucleus there are another part named nucleus. This cell body in the neuron cell located at the center of the neuron cell, and it controls both part and transfer impulse from one part to another part, one cell to another part, another cell. In this way, with the help of different cell or different sensory neuron connected and connect with our central nervous system, brain and spinal cord. So cell body, nucleus, nucleus, other organelles also contain in this neuron cell. Other organelles such as mitochondria, endoplasmic reticulum, ribosome, lysosome, centriole or centrosome, etc. These impulses, this cell receive impulses with the help of these sensory terminals or sensory receptor part. Just right, this is the part of sensory receptor part. With the help of this sensory receptor part, it transfer different type of impulses from one part of the body to other part, or from outer environmental impulses to the central nervous system or brain and spinal cord. And it also contain myelin sheath. With the help of myelin sheath, it speed up the signals or increase the speed of the signals of sensory neuron cell. And it also contain the part, basic part, node of Ranvier. With the help of this Ranvier, they diffuses different ions, and these ions, for this reason or in this way, they transfer one part of the body to another part, transfer impulses from one part of the body to the another part. In this way, different type of cell, motor and sensory nerve works in human body. Motor nerve act as a transfer organ and sensory nerve act as a receptive organ, and it act as a ascending order to the brain, and motor nerve act as a descending order from the, it receive or transfer impulses from the brain. So what do you understand from these activities, from this structure and function? So we easily understand that with the help of this cell, this neuron cell, we can communicate, we can control, we can activate all the activities of the world. With the help of this cell, we can communicate with the whole world with a definite activities or definite part. So with the help of this cell, we can control all the physiological activities, whatever we write, whatever we listen, whatever we do, all the activities is done with the help of this cell. So this cell is the important cell for human body, and because it controls all the activities, physiological, functional, structural and so on. With the help of this cell, we can communicate with the whole world, whole activities, all the activities. So this cell is important for human body, all living organisms. Without this cell or cell, animal cannot be